Welcome back to the Perfect Father podcast. I'm excited to share this episode with you. I think it's a fun topic, so I just wanted to hang out with you as I send out this particular devotion. The last one, a little more serious. This one maybe a little more lighthearted. Our invitation is one that I believe is what I would call maybe the most transcendent pursuit this side of heaven. And it's accessible at any season in life. It's really independent of circumstances and challenges. And I was thinking about you, the people that God has put in my way that I share these devotions with, how diverse this group is. We have people in their twilight years. We have ranging to teenagers that are in high school, about to finish high school and excited and probably a little anxious about what's next. We've got young couples and young individuals starting families and businesses and careers, young adults that are a little more established and wondering what the next season of life looks like. Midlifers like me, maybe 2/3 of the way through, and it's very diverse. And each season has unique challenges, doesn't it? That's the thing about the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah, until you get there, and then you realize that there are challenges in all circumstances in life, all seasons in life. But this particular pursuit helps us transcend our circumstances. And the invitation is to increase your satisfaction. And our verse is John chapter 4, verses 31 through 34. Meanwhile, his disciples urged him, "Rabbi, eat something." But he said to them, "I have food to eat that you know nothing about." Then his disciples said to each other, "Could someone have brought him food?" "My food," Jesus said, "is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work." Our prayers, gracious Father, empower us to increase our satisfaction by participating with you moment by moment. We could use a few different synonyms for that word satisfaction. We could say increase our fulfillment or increase our meaning and purpose in life. All of those, I think, are adequate. Our challenge is that we sometimes are drawn by a false religion that persuades us that this Christian walk is primarily about quitting bad things and holding on to and believing certain doctrines and dogmas, and that's kind of what it's all about. That leads to a very dry and discouraging existence. While he invites us to this intimate and adventurous activity with him that increases satisfaction in our lives. I was thinking about this concept of satisfaction, of fulfillment, being transcendent versus some of the things we're prone to pursue. And I know this, when I'm not walking closely with him, and I've said this before, that has nothing to do with his closeness with me. But when I'm not doing certain things to connect with him, I find that I quickly move into what I call a survival mindset. Survival instincts that are in all of us, right? The desire for comfort, the desire for security, the desire for safety, whatever that is. It's very easy to slide into that. And then what we start doing, at least what I start doing, I think you're probably with me, is we start looking for comfort, security, and safety in people, in areas and circumstances that just aren't equipped to give it. It's sort of obvious that, when we look for these things in ways that are destructive. But I'm talking about when we start pressuring our lives and the people around us or the circumstances around us to provide us that comfort, that security, that safety. It's inadequate. It's fragile. And it's kind of easy to go into that mindset. Our reflection begins, pause and humbly accept the invitation in the above gospel text that the food that satisfies is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work. That's really profound. It's something that you and I could probably spend a lot of time in. That the what really satisfies us at our core, and it's interesting that food is talked about here, because again, that's a survival instinct, right? I've got to have enough to feel secure. And Jesus says, I have food that you don't know about. It's to do the will of my Father and to finish that work. Same for us. And he calls us to this adventurous life. It's almost counterintuitive to the pursuit of false comfort, security, and safety. He calls us out like Abraham in his 70s. Has everything. Wealthy man of the times, right? Leave your father's house and come to a land that I'll show you as you go, as you actively put something in motion. This call to adventure that's often counterintuitive. And when I was thinking about this particular concept, I thought about one of my favorite quotes from the Chronicles of Narnia, and this is Mr. Beaver talking to Susan about Aslan, the Christ figure. Safe? Question mark. Who said anything about safe? Of course he isn't safe, but he's good. He's a king, I tell you. I love that. He's good. He's good, right? He's the perfect father who fathers us perfectly. And yet he's not calling us to this false sense of security. He's calling us to this adventure. He's calling us to find our life by losing our life. To take up our cross and follow him. The greatest among you is the one who serves. All of these invitations that are counterintuitive to the survival mindset that sometimes we find ourselves in. And it's the only place where you and I will experience increase and lasting satisfaction. Our reflection continues. Recall days where you were in constant conversation with him and actively seeking his guidance over your words and ways. Consider the satisfaction that you experienced as you completed the day full of gratitude for the simple or profound ways you participated with him. I love doing this. I told somebody, my trade is I'm a therapist, and I said to somebody, I think I've become more of a behaviorist. And I'm not going to expound deeply on that other than to say we're called to do certain things. The emotions and the satisfaction and the peace and the effectiveness follow what we do. So what is it about a day that's concluded with a sense of satisfaction, a sense of peace and joy that we've walked with him? I'm not going to answer that question for you. I think there's a few non-negotiables to that. And one I talk about often, the one non-negotiable that, Jesus said to Martha about Mary, she's done the one thing that's necessary. She's sitting at my feet. That's a non-negotiable for me. I have to start there and prepare my heart. And what I find is, like today, I woke up and it's pretty early, and sometimes when I'm in that phase where my mind's not fully engaged and I'm getting my coffee ready and I'm lighting my candles at my fireplace, and I have this little beach chair that I sit in. It's just a nice place of meditation. But when I was in that process of preparing, the word enjoy was downloaded to my spirit. And that just became a launching pad. The Lord is like, son, I want you to come. I want you to enjoy your time with me. I'm going to enjoy you. And eventually, as I moved into intercession, it was about enjoying others. And that really set my course for a very simple day of being around other people. And I can say, as I conclude this day and thinking back on some of the things that transpired, I was able to help a new colleague kind of get settled and kind of intervene in one moment when that wasn't going so well. And I was able to help a client with an intervention to assist her with anxiety. I spent some time at the end of the day assisting another colleague who assists me all the time. And I'm just thinking, I enjoy these people and they enjoy me. What a great gift. A lot of satisfaction in that. Quite simple, but I know what it means for me to prepare my heart where have the comfort that's grounded and anchored in Him, and the security that is grounded and anchored in Him. I often say at the end of the day, I'm just grateful. Or the end of maybe a certain event or responsibility or something exchange, I'm just grateful. And I know what it takes to do that. And so I encourage you, what do you put in motion that positions you to participate with Him moment by moment? It's an important question for us. It has zero to do with how much He loves you. It has zero to do with how much He delights in you. It has everything to do with your satisfaction this side of heaven. And so I encourage you to reflect and put into motion those things that you know just knit you close to Him and His purpose and will moment by moment. Our reflection continues. Plan to resume this intimate and adventurous activity today. That's our charge today. Reminding yourself that Holy Spirit resides in you to be active through you moment by moment. And when you are confused or confounded as to what to do next, that often happens. It happens for me, especially on slow days. Simply focus on what He has placed right in front of you and ask Him to guide and assist you to participate in His will in the moment, no matter how minuscule or massive the task at hand. This is so important, and like I just said, especially on slow days, I'm like, okay, Lord, what's next? I've shared this before, but every few weeks, something I heard, I think the Holy Spirit just comes in and reminds me that Jesus, most of His time when He was on earth was spent walking, some north of 20,000 miles. Obviously, that was the mode of transportation. And so in the gospel readings, we get the highlights, but we don't see the monotony of walking from place to place. Just the day-to-day. How do I handle that? Am I walking in peace and satisfaction when it's slow and uneventful in a culture that is addicted to highlights? Just day by day, moment by moment, trusting Him and participating. What does that look like? Our reflection continues answering that question. Imagine the calm satisfaction of participating with Him moment by moment to bring peace, express joy, solve problems, speak wisdom, laugh aloud, order chaos, breathe deeply, smile frequently, beautify consistently, etc. This is what we do. We bring life and beauty and peace to everything and everyone. That's our calling as the temple of the Holy Spirit, is to bring peace and life and beauty to our surroundings and to people. And at the end of the day, we can reflect on His faithfulness. I want you and I to increase our satisfaction by walking with Him moment by moment. Our reflection concludes, remind yourself throughout the day that your full satisfaction increases through doing His will. And as you're tempted to be discouraged or discontent, gently remind yourself, I am participating with Him. I am participating with Him. I am participating with Him. We will increase satisfaction as we participate with you moment by moment. I love you. See you next time.